Okay, that's getting considerably easier. As you can probably tell by my lack of grunting. And welcome to a new episode, a new season, a new year, a new place to work, new things to break. So much newness, some of which I can only right now allude to, and you'll discover later in the season. Cue an ominous Bram in the background if I think about it. And if there was any more newness, I would probably go stereotypical basic white girl and be quite literally unable to even, but in the meantime, let's get to work. I've done plenty of work on cars before, but I don't think I've ever done... No, I'm certain I've never done an engine drop, so I've never had the pleasure of working in this particular angle. Who needs insulation, right? Sound deadening. Okay, once I get one, it should be easy to get the rest, right? DNA test has determined that that is a lie. That is either going to have to be cut around there. It's probably easier to just cut it around there if it doesn't outright rip. Hey, there we go. On the plus side, I think I've figured out why the steering is kind of bad on this. Steering rack. Pretty sure that's not supposed to move like that. Pretty sure that another place people get shit in their eyes is when they're not expecting a thing to generate flakes of metal, and I've snapped a couple of things off here already, which is exciting. Now, if I were truly a wealthy sort of racing team, as opposed to sort of a privateer, I would be taking everything off this back bulkhead right now, cleaning things up, spiffing them out, probably painting the entire engine bay, and that's all well and good for them. I'm not convinced it's necessary, although I'm probably going to change my mind when I get under here and discover that this is where I need to do some seam welding, and it would be really, really good to have everything out of the way. I mean, fortunately, this is new enough that this isn't asbestos fiber, but I still want to breathe that in. So I just applied a bunch of penetrating oil to the bolts holding up the, the radiator. So we'll see how that goes. I think some of this air conditioning stuff might come out with just a pretty good sharp tug. And I can trace that back to the firewall because I think those two cables are the AC delivery and return, so I can get rid of those easily. Okay, good. I see here. That's a soft hose, makes the bend. Clip, I think. Easier. Okay, good. Alright, so we have to figure out how to loosen that from the firewall. Or I can just cut the soft part and figure out how to loosen it from the firewall later. This side is Guess I'm not going to need that wiring harness. Somebody pointed out the other day that they don't call these quick disconnects, they call them quick connects, which yeah, they're meant for assembly at the factory, not easy repair. Alright. I'm moving that around it. I wonder if this would be easier with a little pressure on the radiator. Yeah, that's probably half the problem, because as I take these screws out, the radiator is going to... Oh, that's only half the problem. Well, it looks like I got saved a little bit of work here on the other side by virtue of this mount having bent to the point where it's no longer really part of it. In fact, looks like there was a some kind of hit here. This whole thing is bent. You know, I put penetrating oil on that and everything under the assumption that I was going to have to get it out, which I guess I am, but just this is going to get dropped without that coming out. What'd you do to the car today, Jason? Oh, upper body. Who needs CrossFit when you've got auto mechanicking, right? I wonder how long these bolts actually are and when it's going to drop on my head. Further question, when this drops on my head, how much radiator fluid is left in here to spray all over me? Of course, I've been worrying about a lot of things that haven't happened yet. I'm certainly worried about the airbag, and that didn't end up being a problem. On the other hand, things that I wasn't really worried about ended up being a problem. I feel like that'll be the title of my autobiography. My only problems were things I hadn't worried about. Oh yeah, I can't really use this for support anymore, you dipshit. Alright. Press well, sweet arms. For the 2 seconds it'll take me to switch over. So either I'm going to get splashed with radiator fluid. Huh. See, I'm thinking about the radiator fluid and getting a cable in my mouth. Alright. Radiators come out to play. Poop. Yeah, I was anticipating some spillage. Well, that's down. It's still connected to these air conditioning hoses over here, so it's not out of my way, and I'm kind of trapped in here briefly. So we'll have to see how that goes. Why don't I just cut this? Alright, I think I'm just going to have to cut my way out anyway. Which is fine. Would be more fun if I had... Where'd I... Oh, there's my knife. Rule number 7. Make this shit durable. I'm glad. Well, I'm glad when I'm not under here cutting it. Okay. One radiator. And more importantly, the air conditioning heat exchanger. Radiator has to be put back on. The heat exchanger does not. How about this damn steering rack? Oh! Still? Still? Really? Still? How is there still fluid in anything? Alright, haven't been underneath it. Really? Can I... Oh. I wonder if that's not supposed to have that much, All right. Do I have enough torque? Just barely. Well, that one was hand loosenable. Pretty sure that's not OEM torque spec. The other one seems like it'll be a treat to work on because this housing for the steering column is in the way. And of course there's no room to actually get a socket in here, which means that the only 15 I have is this stupid crow's foot thing. On the plus side, it should have plenty of torque if I can... It might be something of a bigger if than I thought it was going to... Is that... At all the angles I can get this on, I'm going to be unable to actually move it. Alright, well, let's try the right angle. There we go. Of course, at this point, I was worried that the nut itself, or the bolt itself, was going to hit the heat shield, and it does look like it's going to. Alright, and moments before giving up and trying something different, I managed to wiggle this into a place where I think I just need to whip off one last nut, and I will have the steering rack free. settings. Okay. Alright, success. Yeehaw! All without dropping subframe. All right, I have to imagine that's kind of one of the last large items that I'm going to be taking off the car is that heat exchanger. Everything else is going to be tiny and piddly and difficult to measure. So, you know, a pound here from some of those not the cables, the hoses from the AC compressor and whatnot. Those will be awkward and weird to measure and weigh, but maybe I'll try them, maybe I won't, but certainly nothing nice and easy. Everything, I think, that's really big is out of the car. So thus far I've taken off 290.4 pounds. I'm sure it's over 300 by the time you think, like, I didn't measure all of the bits and pieces of trim and foam and all those other little things. So I'll get me as low as I can get. I don't think I'm going to get anywhere close to 2,200 pounds even before I add the cage back in. So we'll see what happens. Oh shit.